Violence worsens between Palestinians and Israel. Airstrikes kill at least 20 in Gaza. Children are among the dead. More confrontations at one of Islam's holiest sites. Israeli security forces stormed the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. And worldwide condemnation and protests as the UN calls on both sides to show restraint. The violence between Palestinians and Israelis continues to spiral. At least 20 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. Medical officials say a number of children are among the dead. Israel says 3 Hamas leaders were killed in the strikes. It follows several rocket attacks from Gaza aimed at Israel. Hamas claimed responsibility, saying it launched the rockets after days of violence around the holy site of Al-Aqsa Mosque.
What happened is that we were sitting outside the house waiting for iftar. Children aged 8 months were killed. Muhammad, who's getting married 5 days after the Eid, was killed. How is this the children's fault? Girls between ages 7 to 9 years old have died. How is it their fault?
Nizar Sadawi joins me now live from Gaza. Nizar, the casualty figures are going up. Tell us more about the airstrikes and the impact.
Yes, obviously the current escalation in Gaza is becoming more intense by the minute. Israeli army continues to carry out several strikes on different sites, not just military sites, but also farmlands and civilian areas across the Gaza Strip. Just a few minutes ago, the Israeli warplanes carried out an attack in Khan Yunis in the south of the Gaza Strip, also another one in Beit Hanun. There were obviously casualties. Health officials in Gaza are telling us so far 20 Palestinians have been killed. 9 of them were children. One of them was actually a 10-year-old girl. 65 injuries have been reported so far. Obviously, this number will rise once health officials get updated from local clinics and hospitals in Gaza due to the recent strikes. Also, the resistance factions in Gaza, not just Hamas, but also Islamic Jihad and other factions like the PLFP, or even smaller factions affiliated with Fatah, the secular party in Palestine, have also issued several statements stressing that the launching of rockets will continue. They continue to vow to retaliate the aggression Israel keeps committing in Jerusalem and also in Gaza. One significant thing to mention is that the Palestinian resistance factions were determined to send a clear message to the Israeli government today that their aerial defense system or whatever technology they have cannot be enough to stop the Palestinian retaliation once Palestinians are determined to take their right. Because, for example, Abu Ubaidah, the spokesman of Al-Qassam brigades, the armed wing of Hamas, when he delivered that speech, he literally said, "We will target you at 6 p.m. today," and Israel couldn't do anything about it. After that, 2 hours after that, the Islamic Jihad also said that they will launch more rockets at 9 p.m. as they always did before in previous escalations, and they also managed to do that. And the Israeli army also couldn't do anything except for retaliating with targeting civilians. We know that more children in the recent strike in Khan Yunis have been carried out to the hospital, to Nasser Hospital perhaps. We're waiting for confirmation from the health officials in Gaza, because this number will absolutely rise. I don't think the tension here will stop rising, because obviously both parties, factions in Gaza and the Israeli government, are still determined to continue. There have been
and with that in mind, Nizar, with that in mind, there's obviously a very real fear that the situation will escalate, and we're hearing that Qatar and Egypt, other Arab nations, are trying to negotiate with Palestinians inside Gaza, with Hamas, to try and defuse the situation. What are you hearing about that?
Well, yes, just 30 minutes ago, Saleh Al-Arouri, the deputy head of Hamas bureau outside, in an interview with an international channel, mentioned that Qatar has made contact with the leadership of Hamas, also Egypt, and they try to mediate in order to restore calm in Gaza. He did not say whether the leadership of Hamas agreed or not, but he did imply that the resistance factions, not only Hamas in Gaza, will not stop the rocket launching unless Israel stops the atrocities they continue to commit in Jerusalem and specifically in Sheikh Jarrah. More confirmation came a few minutes later when Abu Ubaidah, again the spokesperson for Al-Qassam Brigade, conveyed a message saying that if you don't stop, of course addressing the Israeli side, if you don't stop, then we will not stop either. That was just one line message, a message of one line, and it holds significant meaning, I can say that.
Nizar, thank you. Nizar Sadawi in Gaza there. Well, the rocket attack